Hello guys, welcome back to another video. This is the 10th title I'm trying to master with RetroAchievements, and I've noticed I've yet to do a Super Nintendo game. Well, that all changes now. The question is, what game should be my first title? There are a ton of great titles to pick from. I'm in the mood for some side-scrolling platforming. So, I've ultimately decided on Super Mario All-Stars. All-Stars is a compilation of 4 classic NES titles with a 16-bit facelift. The games are more detailed graphically, and I feel a little different mechanically. The games are a little easier than the NES versions, in my opinion. My preference is for the NES versions, but I enjoy the All-Star versions as well. Super Mario Bros. 3 is my favorite video game of all time. It was the first one I ever owned. Super Mario Bros. 1 is the first game I remember playing. Super Mario All-Stars was published by Nintendo and developed by Nintendo EAD. It was released for the Super Nintendo in 1993. This set has a total of 106 achievements. I'm going to start off and tackle one game at a time, starting with the first Super Mario Bros. Let's jump right in and get started. Super Mario Bros. Is a pretty easy platformer by today's standards, but it is a classic that I grew up with and I love it. Starting off in World 1-1, I enter a pipe to access a bonus area and unlock my first achievement. The majority of the achievements for Super Mario Bros. Are progression based, meaning I beat a world and then I unlock an achievement for it. I'm going to quickly go through and show these achievements for the 8 worlds in the game. Now I'm on the second quest, and I have to play through the entire game again with some slight variations. Some Goombas are replaced with buzzy beetles, which cannot be killed with a fireball. Castles are a little more difficult, and enemies move a little quicker. In World 1-2, I got the achievement Lucky Lifesaver 1 for getting up to 15 lives. Considering that Quest 2 isn't really more challenging than the first quest, I'll just show the next 8 achievements I got for beating the 8 worlds. I now have 3 achievements left for this game. I quickly start over from the beginning and make my way to World 1-2. I gain access to the warp area and get my next achievement, a warp welcome, for doing so. I now have 2 achievements left that I want to try and get together. I need to take the shortest route in the game to beating it, and I need to beat the game without dying. I take the World 1-2 warp to World 4. I then take a warp located in World 4-2 that takes me to World 8. I now need to play all the way through World 8. World 8-1 is pretty straightforward, but can be tricky. There are a lot of enemies that you can easily dispatch with fireballs. There are some tricky platforming that could take practice too. In World 8-2, you're going to want to watch out for Lakitu, who is throwing spines at the start of the level. Once you get past him though, it is fairly straightforward. There is one tricky platforming section in the second half of the level, but that is about it. World 8-3 is a real pain in the ass unless you manage to start the level with firepower. I was fortunate enough to have firepower, so I was able to dispatch the mini Hammer Brothers on the stage.
Stop! Hammer time!
There is a tough platformer section at the end too. World 8-4. The castle is pretty straightforward if you know where to go. Unfortunately, I got hit by a firebar in the water section by being careless. This made the last section much harder than it needed to be, as I had to dodge a Hammer Brother before trying to get past Bowser and save the princess. I managed to do it though, and got the last 2 achievements. Super Mario Bros. Is done. Next up is Lost Levels. I used to speedrun the Famicom version of Lost Levels, so I'm familiar with this game, but I don't have much experience with worlds A through D. The game is definitely harder than the first one. Essentially, this game would be considered DLC today. Even though it is more challenging though, I still find most of the levels pretty simple. Most of the achievements for this game are just progression achievements. Let me show you the achievements I got for beating the first 4 worlds right here. In World 5-1, I gained access to a bonus room through a pipe and net the achievement, Lost and Found. Worlds 5 through 8 are pretty easy for me as well. I'll quickly show the achievements for these next 4 worlds. World 9 is a special world we had to play next. On the original Famicom version, you only have 1 chance at this world. If you die, that is it. Thankfully, that is not the case with the All-Star version, as I did die once to Bowser in 9-3. Thankfully, there is a little shortcut here you can take to bypass Bowser. I beat World 9 and got the next achievement. Now for worlds A through D. These levels are tough, so let's do a little breakdown. In World A1, there is a mushroom at the beginning here you'll probably want to get. There are a couple of Hammer Brothers later on that are hard to pass without getting hit. Take the hit and move on. At the end of the level are narrow pillars you have to jump on with turtles. Take your time jumping on each one until you pass. In World A2, there is a mushroom in the ceiling. There is also a mushroom in the block right here. Take to the top of the level to avoid the upcoming Hammer Brother. World A3 is pretty simple and fun. Just run across the stage and try to avoid the Cheep Cheeps. I love this type of stage. World A4 is pretty straightforward, but it can be tricky avoiding the fire bars and fireballs shooting up. A little practice and you'll have this down. I beat Bowser and got the next achievement. World B1 is pretty easy. There is a mushroom in the question mark box you can get right here. There is a group of 3, and it is the 3rd one. You shouldn't have a problem here. World B2 is your typical water level. It really isn't any more challenging than other water levels in Super Mario Bros. 1 or the Lost levels. World B3 is one of the toughest stages in the game, in my opinion. The platforming on this level is really tricky and it will take a lot of practice. You are going to want to jump on the spring here to land on the moving platform above. Then, jump on this block platform. Finally, at the end of the level, you're going to do a running jump and jump off a flying turtle. The second jump requires you to jump at the very edge of the platform to clear the gap. Good luck with this level. World B4 is actually pretty easy. You're going to want to be Small Mario though, as it makes it a little easier to navigate the level. I beat Bowser and got the next achievement. World C is where things start to get difficult. C1 isn't too hard, but there is some tricky platforming. There is a section where you have to clear a gap by jumping off a flying turtle. The level will likely take you a little practice to get down. The hardest section of World C2 is at the start of the level. You have to wait for a blooper to clear out of the way, otherwise you'll hit it and die. There is also a tricky jump in the second half of this level. You need to jump at the very edge of the platform and land on a flying turtle to kill it. Get these two parts down and you should be fine. World C3 is just like World 7-3. You have to jump on springs that shoot you over a large gap. It's hard to get a feel for where you are going to land when you come down. The second section is really tricky though and will likely you off. The wind is blowing and you have to navigate and jump from platform to platform. There are also some fire bars you have to pay attention to. I died many times on this level. World C4 is like 7-4, but a little harder. Make sure you get the mushroom at the start of the level. You'll likely need it. This section right here will likely make you scream in anger. There is a spot where a fire bar is rotating clockwise. There are two blocks in either corner here that prevent you from hugging the wall and letting the fire bar pass safely. So what do you have to do? You have to walk off, not run, then jump to avoid the fire bar. The timing is very tight and dying means you start the whole level over again. I managed to beat Bowser after passing that section though and got my next achievement. World D1 is not fun. There are two Hammer Brothers you have to avoid at the start of the level. You then have to clear a large gap by jumping off of a flying turtle. Make sure you hit this block right here and get a mushroom. You're going to need it for another Hammer Brother is waiting for you as you clear the gap past the pipe. I had to take a hit as I could not avoid the little jerk.
You little jerk.
World D2 is actually pretty easy to get through. There is one tricky section at the end of the level where you have to jump off of a spring and land on one small block before the flagpole. If you can do that, you're good. World D3 is pretty tough. There are a lot of cannons shooting bullet bills and plenty of Hammer Brothers to dodge. There is a mushroom in this block right here. Make sure you bounce off the spring here and land on the turtle on this platform. Kick the shell to your right so you can kill the Hammer Brother. There are a couple more Hammer Brothers to get past, but if you manage to do so, you should be golden. World D4 is tricky. Make sure you take the hidden mushroom at the start of the level, you'll likely need it. You have to skip the first three pipes and navigate to the end of the room where there is one final green pipe to enter. Next room has a Hammer Brother you have to avoid. There is also wind blowing, which makes the platforming tricky. In the final room, you can easily avoid the fake Bowser by running underneath him. Avoid the three bloopers and then watch out for another Hammer Brother. After that, it is just getting past Bowser. This level took me quite a few tries, but I eventually got past Bowser and got my next achievement. We now have 2 achievements left for this game. Next up, we need to get 15 lives. There were some comments posted on the Retro Achievements website by other fellow achievement hunters that pointed out an easy way to do this. In World 1-1, collect the hidden 1-up in the block and then save and quit. Rinse and repeat. Do this until you have 15 lives. Kind of a cheap way to go about it, but it works. We got the Lucky Lifesaver 2 achievement for doing so. Now for the final achievement. I have to complete the game in one session using the shortest possible route. Here's how you do that. We start in World 1-2. Make your way to the top of the level. At the end of the level, jump off of the moving platform over the wall and go down the first pipe you see. This will take you to another section. Make your way to the end of this area until you come across what appears to be a dead end. Jump up and hit 2 hidden blocks. Then make your way over the wall and to the warp pipe. This will take you to World 4. Make your way to World 5 too. The next warp location is here. There is a block with a hidden vine you have to hit. Right next to you are moving platforms. Jump off the moving platform and hit the block to reveal the vine. This will take you to a World 8 warp pipe. Play through and beat World 8 and you'll unlock this final achievement. Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels is done. Next up is Super Mario Bros. 2. There are 4 achievements where you have to play through the entire game as one character. So, we'll start off with Mario. To start off, we unlock quite a few achievements in World 1-1. I enter a subspace for the first time and unlock an achievement for it. I then get the achievement Twinkle Twinkle for collecting the Starman. I get the Capping Out achievement for maxing out my health with the mushroom. I get the Put in Timeout achievement for collecting the stopwatch. And finally, I get the I'll Remember This achievement for beating Birdo without getting hit. I matched 3 cherries during the bonus chance slot game and got this achievement. In World 1-2, I got the Golden Gardener achievement for collecting 10 coins in a single stage. We now make our way to the first boss in the game, Mouser. I beat Mouser pretty easily and got 2 achievements, one for beating him and one for beating him without taking damage. During the next bonus chance game, I get the Lucky Lifesaver 3 achievement for getting 20 lives. Next up, I make my way to the boss of World 2, Triclide. An easy way to fight him is to build a small little barricade to block his fireball attacks. Then throw those block items, or whatever you call them, and take him out. I got 2 achievements, one for beating him, and one for beating him without taking damage. As I start World 3, I get the achievement Nightmare Free Journey for beating the world without losing a life. The next 12 achievements deal with bosses, so let's go over them. We have a rematch in World 3 with Mouser. I died the first time. This fight is a little harder than our first match with him. He takes 2 more hits to take down. I do finish him though and get 2 more achievements, one for beating him and one for beating him without taking damage. Next up, we have Fry Guy in World 4. I took a hit, so I purposely died to restart. Fry Guy moves across the stage quickly, so he can be tricky to dodge. Drop blocks on him. After you hit him 3 times, he splits into 4 small fireballs. I built a little barricade with the blocks to make it easier to take them out. After I cleared out the fire, I got 2 achievements, one for beating Fry Guy, and one for beating him without taking any damage. In World 5, we have a fight with a boss named Claw Grip, a giant crab with a bad temper. He throws rocks at you and you have to time your jump and land on them to pick them up. This can be tricky. You then have to throw the rocks at him to hit him. Hit him 5 times and you take him out. I beat Claw Grip and got 2 achievements, one for beating him and one for beating him without taking damage. Now it is time for a rematch with Triclide, and the same strategy applies. Build a barricade, throw some blocks at him, and take him out. I beat him and got 2 achievements, one for beating him and one for beating him without taking damage. Next up, the mask gate we normally enter has come alive and it starts attacking us. It flies back and forth across the stage. Just dodge it and throw blocks at it. I got 2 achievements here, one for beating it and one for beating it without taking damage. Now for the final boss in this game, Wart. Wart shoots bubbles out of his mouth that you have to dodge. You also have to catch vegetables to throw in his mouth when he opens it. Do this 6 times and he is done. I beat Wart and got 2 more achievements, one for beating him and one for beating him without taking damage. I then got the achievement for running through the entire game as Mario without using warps. Now it is time to run it back, this time with Luigi. I managed to hit 3 7s on the bonus chance slot machine game and got 10 lives. I don't think I've ever hit that before. Anyway, I managed to play through the entire game with Luigi without using warps and got the next achievement. I now have to play all the way through the game 2 more times, once as Toad and once as Princess Peach. I managed to do so without any issue and unlock 2 more achievements. We now have 3 achievements left to unlock for Super Mario Bros. 2. I need to find a warp location, I need to beat the game using the shortest possible route, and I need to beat the game without dying. I'm shooting to try and unlock the last 2 achievements at the same time. I make my way to World 1-3 to access the first warp in the game and unlock the achievement Amazing Vase for doing so. Now these next 2 achievements took me a few tries as I died on a few attempts. Eventually though, I got a good run and unlocked them. I'll break down the route and the stages real quick. By the way, I played Princess Peach all the way through. She's the easiest one to control. World 1-1 is pretty straightforward. Here's the location of 2 mushrooms you can get by accessing a subspace area with the magic potion in case you need them. At the start of World 1-2, you have to remove a Pidgeot off of its magic carpet and fly across the large gap. That is probably the most challenging part of the level. Here is the location of a mushroom in case you need it. World 1-3 has our first warp location as I just previously showed, and it will take us to World 4. In World 4-1, we are sliding on ice and we have to dodge flurry snow monsters. It can take a little practice getting this level down. At the end of the first segment is a mushroom you'll probably want to get. The second half of this level has shy guys riding auto bombs that shoot at you. As long as you can dodge them, you'll be fine. In World 4-2, you are sliding on ice while Bezos are flying across the screen trying to attack you. This will take practice and patience. The second half of the stage has our next warp location. I'll show it right here. This will take us to World 6. In World 6-1, we have to glide across quicksand while dodging cob rats, pokies, and shy guys. At the end of this segment is a mushroom. In the second section of the level, there is a room full of vases. You have to enter one of them to find a key and unlock the door. This is the right vase. In World 6-2, we take to the sky and we have to ride on an albatross. There is a mushroom located right here. It's a little tricky dodging oncoming albatross in the sky, but it isn't too hard. World 6-3 once again opens up with more quicksand, shy guys, a pokey, and a cob rat. The section is pretty short though. The second section of this level has a mushroom you'll probably want to pick up. The final section has you taken to the skies as you have to climb large vines and dodge hoopsters climbing up and down them. You also have to watch out for sniffits shooting at you. In World 7-1, there are 2 locations for mushrooms in the first part of this level. I'll show both right here. Take the albatross across the stage to the next section. The next area is tough as it is kind of condensed and hard to navigate. You have to dodge sniffits shooting at you, and you also have to be aware of shy guys walking around. The next section has sparks roaming around. Just kill them with mushroom blocks before navigating to the top of the stage. The final level is World 7-2. We open up just outside of Wart's Fortress, and there are a few sniffits shooting at you. Inside, there are conveyor belts we have to ride while dodging shy guys. There is a mushroom located in this level you'll likely want to collect as you might need it. I'll show you where it is right here. There is a section where you have to navigate up and jump on platforms while you dodge sparks. This can be really tricky to time. Just practice a little patience and you should have it. Next, take out Birdo for a key, take down the masked gate trying to kill you, then shove vegetables down Wart's throat and call it a day. We finished the game again and got the final 2 achievements. One for beating the game taking the shortest possible route, and one for beating the game without dying. Sweet dreams, Mario. Super Mario Bros. 2 is done. Next up is Super Mario Bros. 3. To start off, Super Mario Bros. 3 is a favorite of mine, so I know I'm going to have fun with this. For our first achievement, we make our way to the second stage of World 1. We have to bounce off of Goombas coming out of a pipe for an extra life. This was a little tricky for me to get down. There seemed to be a little delay or pause for the Goombas coming out. I eventually got it though, and our first achievement for this game. In stage 3, I got 2 achievements. First things first, we unlocked the treasure ship on the map. A hammer brother transforms into a treasure ship. How did I do this? I made sure the coin amount I finished with is a multiple of 11. In this case, 22 coins. For your points, in the 10th digit slot, the number has to be a 2 to match the digits in my coin total. I also held the down button on this platform for a couple of seconds until I fell through and appeared behind the background. I finished the stage for the next 2 achievements. Now we venture to stage 4. For worlds 1 through 7, you have to make a secret blue mushroom house appear. I don't know the secret to this, so of course I looked up a guide online. For this stage, you have to collect all 44 coins. There are also 2 multi-coin blocks you have to hit. We did that and got the achievement Strange and Wonderful Secrets 1 for doing so. We make our way to the first airship level and fight Larry Koopa. After we beat Larry, we got a few achievements. Pack Rat for storing 8 or more items, Grassland Completionist for finishing all stages and minigames on the map, and Walk Like an Egyptian for making it to World 2. In World 2, I tried for the blue mushroom house but failed. Unfortunately, I missed a few of those on my initial run through the game. However, I was able to gather 20 lives and got the Lucky Lifesaver 4 achievement. I then took out the Hammer Brother and got a hammer. I used the hammer on a rock and got the Hammer Time achievement.
Stop. Hammer time.
We then make our way to the next airship, take down Morton Koopa, and get 2 more achievements. Desert Hill Completionist for completing the map, and Tropic Topics for making it to World 3. We make our way to the 8th stage. We need to collect 44 coins here to unlock the secret blue mushroom house. The hardest part of this stage is avoiding the fish Big Bertha. If you can do that though, it isn't too hard to collect all of the coins. I did it and got the Strange and Wonderful Secrets 3 achievement for doing so. I then venture to the next airship level, take down Windy Koopa, and get the Large and in Charge achievement for making it to World 4. I make my way to the second stage and I'm going to try for another secret blue mushroom house. You need to collect 22 coins here. This took me a few tries as it was kind of tricky to do. You need to trigger a P-switch and collect the coins before they turn back into solid blocks, all while dodging Cheep Cheeps and piranha plants shooting fireballs at you. I managed to do it though and got the Strange and Wonderful Secrets 4 achievement for doing so. On the very next stage, I managed to match 3 cards from the gold roulette and got the Royal Flash achievement. Later on in the world, I used the sound of the music box to put the Hammer Brothers to sleep. I don the Tanuki suit and make my way to Iggy Koopa on the airship. Unfortunately, the little jerk hit me and I lost my suit.
You little jerk.
I took him down though and got the achievement Head in the Clouds for making it to World 5. In the Spade Panel minigame, I assembled a Starman and got the achievement When the Stars Align for doing so. I now don the Tanuki suit once again as I board the next airship. I managed to beat Roy Koopa with the suit on and got 3 achievements. Dress Like Royalty, the Sky Completionist for completing the whole map, and a Chilly Reception for making it to World 6. Not much happens in this world until I reach the airship. I took down Lemmy Koopa and got 2 more achievements. Icelandic Completionist for completing the whole map, and Pipe Dream for making it to World 7. Not much happens here either until I make it to the airship level. This time, I purposely decided to fall to Ludwig von Koopa. The reason was so I could use the anchor item to prevent the airship from moving. I got the achievement, Flight Cancellation, for doing so. I then make it back to Ludwig, kick his and collect 2 more achievements. Pipe Maze Completionist for completing the whole map, and Blazing Battleground for making it to World 8. I make my way to Bowser's Castle, save the princess, and get 2 more achievements. See you next fall, Bowser, for beating the game, and Castle of Koopa Completionist for completing the whole map. Next up, I want to beat the game using the shortest possible route. I head back to World 1. All the items in my inventory are saved, so I use a warp whistle and get the achievement, A Faraway Land, for doing so. I use the second whistle to go to World 8, quickly make my way back to Bowser's Castle, take down Bowser, and unlock the achievement, Super Speedrun Bros 3, for doing so. With just 7 achievements left to master this game, we head back to World 2. On Stage 2, we need to collect 30 coins to trigger the Blue Mushroom House. It is actually pretty easy to do. Just jump on the moving platform and collect the initial coins in your path. Then come back to the moving platform, trigger the P-switch, and collect the rest of the coins that were once solid blocks. You also don't need to collect the last 4 coins, which is nice. I unlocked the achievement, Strange and Wonderful Secrets 2, for doing so. The next achievement we have to acquire is in the fortress. At the start of the level, you will find 3 dry bones. By the way, you need a raccoon tail to pull this off. Bounce off of dry bones and land on another. Continue to do this until you gather 10 lives. I actually did this once, but the achievement did not trigger. I guess because my lives were maxed out. So, I started a new game. Ran through World 1, got back to World 2, went back to the fortress and tried again. This time it worked, and I unlocked the achievement. I need 2 hammers for World 3. I need to use 2 hammers on the map so I can clear everything. So, I take out the Hammer Brother with the hammer, take down Morton Koopa, start World 3, use both hammers so I can clear everything. I actually got another hammer from a Hammer Brother on this map, which is good because I can use it on the next world. I head out to fight and beat Windy Koopa. I unlocked the Seaside Completionist achievement for doing so. Now back to World 4. I used the hammer at the start of the map to unlock the Mushroom House. I then proceed to clear the rest of the map. I make my way to Iggy Koopa and beat him. I then unlock the Big Island Completionist achievement for doing so. I now have 3 Blue Mushroom House achievements left. Now in World 5, I make my way to the 5th stage. You have to collect 28 coins in this stage. I go down the pipe here and collect some coins. You can also get a Tanuki suit. Then, you have to backtrack to collect the rest of the coins. This one spot here with the falling platforms can be tricky. Just take your time as you collect them. After I manage to do that, I finish the stage and unlock the achievement Strange and Wonderful Secrets 5 for doing so. I then make my way to the 7th stage in World 6. This is an auto scroll level and you need to collect 78 coins. This can be pretty tricky and it might take a few tries. There isn't any room for error. If you manage to make it to the end of the stage collecting all the coins, make sure you have firepower. You need to thaw out a bunch of coins with fireballs. I managed to do so and got the achievement Strange and Wonderful Secret 6 for doing so. This final achievement is a pain if I'm being honest. In World 7, we make our way to the second stage. Make sure you have a frog suit equipped. You need it. You need to collect 46 coins on this stage. There's one question mark block you should hit right here too. Not sure if you need it. Go down the pipe here and swim to your left until you come across some coins and the P-switch. Collect the coins, trigger the P-switch, and then quickly swim to your right and collect all the coins in the first and second sections. You have very little room for error. If you mess up, the time P-switch will expire and the coins will turn back to solid blocks. This took me quite a few tries, but eventually I got it. After that, I just needed to make sure I finished the stage without dying. I got the achievement Strange and Wonderful Secret 7 and mastered the game. So, what did I think of this set? Overall, it was pretty fun, but there wasn't too much to challenge me. There were a couple of deathless challenges, one for Super Mario Bros. 1 and one for Super Mario Bros. 2. It wasn't too hard for me though, probably because I'm fairly experienced with those games. If you enjoyed this video and would like to support me, please consider dropping a like, subscribing to the channel, or leaving a comment on the video. It would be greatly appreciated. What games shall we tackle next? That is the question. Well, thanks for watching, God bless, and have a wonderful day.